So, would you do this again?
No, when we, about 2 months into starting the EFF, when we were still forming it, we used to confess to each other that you will never find us again saying we're going to start another political party.
Yeah.
As a mempe papa.
No.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
And it is still forming. And half the time, personally, I was thrown into the deep.
Okay.
I accepted a duty I began to realize that I knew very little about.
Which one is that?
Communications.
Oh, my word.
So I moved from a lecture hall straight into political organization at the national level with the type of platform that I had never managed before. And I've been at school, actually. I moved
since day one?
Since 2013, I've been at school. And the CIC's profile, the profile of the EFF itself, very, very difficult. But also our ideas, the popularization of our ideas, the building of branches, the politics and the message thereof. It's a tough job.
But now let's take it back. Let's rewind back to Val.
Yes.
Give me your background there. I mean, mom, dad, schooling. Let's start with mom and dad.
Very matriarchal family, no father. So I grew up in a women-dominated household.
Okay.
My mother, my grandmother were the authority. My mother is my maker.
Yeah.
And she educated me. And look, I'm from Central, which is one of the oldest townships.
Yes.
In the sort of PWV.
Yeah.
So very, very tough upbringing as well.
Oh.
But a very strong and wise woman. I'm her firstborn.
Oh, okay.
And I've got 3 siblings.
Oh, wonderful. Boys?
Yeah. 1 sister and 2 guys.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Will she ever get married surrounded by you guys?
Well,
I always feel
hope
for the
so.
girl.
I hope so. I think she wants to. So yeah.
Yeah, no, she wants to.
Yeah.
But damn it, I've got these 3 lions around me.
But what that's the thing. My mother, the ways in which she because remember, as men, she is then the first initiator of our masculinity.
Yeah.
She didn't breed toxic masculinities out of us.
Yeah.
So our manner of being a man is not quite, bull lion type of it's very feminine. Yeah, it's much more on
fresh. It's fresh. It's caring. It's soft.
I think it's because of her own interaction with toxic men, and I mean she couldn't at all transfer that whole toxicity to us.
She had to make sure that you guys come out
refined. You see,
yes, and refined. Underline that word. Really
yes,
fine.
Yes.
Remember this point when we talk auction. Yambwisene.
Auction.
Fine.
I didn't know I've come.
No.
The last time you hear about auctions is during slavery.
No. Now this is an Afropolitan one.
Okay, Afropolitan commodification.
Yes. And we're gonna put a price tag.
No problem.
Yeah, but there must be a reserve, okay? Because you can't just come cheap, no.
Okay.
Especially after refined. No.
Yeah.
No.
Not after what that woman built.
No. Not after that.
Yes.
Is that why Bill Withers' grandma's hands?
Oh yes, you've got it. Yeah. I mean, my grandmother. Yeah. She has a big influence in my conscience. If you want me to bow to order, you have to bring that woman.
Mizama.
Ukoko.
Oh, is it?
We all call her Ma. Yeah, Umma.
Do you still have the pleasure of seeing her?
She's alive. Mine is alive.
You are such a lucky bugger, dude.
Yeah. I saw even her mother.
You kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Very fortunate.
Very lucky.
Yeah. It's very emotional.
I know. I know. Did you? You are in communications.
Yeah.
Before things happen, they come through to your desk and office. Where did this name come from?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, we should ask social media. I think, Black Twitter it's called.
Yes, Black Twitter.
We should maybe get somebody to do an etymology,
yes.
The history of the concept.
Thank you.
Yes, I have tried to stay very far from it.
I didn't keep more than stuck.
Yeah, it's a problem. I've tried to keep my distance as much as possible. Well, that is not to own it, because it has a life of its own.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. When you go through your bio and your profile, it says your political consciousness, it was evoked by an event where your uncle was involved. Mm-hmm. What happened there?
My uncle was part of the SDU activities in the early 1990s in Zamdela.
Okay.
So they did very amazing missions. Because of the conflicts there, they began to arm themselves. So they went to rob police stations.
Okay.
In order to arm the underground units.
Yes. Of
the liberation struggle at that
SDU
point.
Being self-defense, right?
The self-defense units. You remember that?
Yes, I remember.
He was part of that, and so one morning he had run away from his home, came home, and the police came for him. You know the dramatic.
And you are young. You are what?
I was very young.
7?
Maybe 7, 8.
But obviously at that time you can record what you see.
Of course, because it's traumatic, it stays.
Yeah.
And because it's traumatic as well, its meaning never leaves you. So I knew then that there was something very wrong about the world. But also we who grew up in the 1990s, struggling was the way to be young, as you know.
Yes.
From the youth that came out of the 80s to the 90s, political consciousness, Zabalaza or Tuitoya, was the way of performing, being youth.
And the winds of change were blowing because Madiba just came out.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, in the Val, the biggest violence between black people or amongst black people occurred, as you know. Sharpeville, Bipatong, Sebokeng, those areas. So that's the region I was growing up in, which is, the center of it, of course.
Sure.
Yeah. So he was part of the whole, it was called Valimo, Val Liberation Movement.
Oh, okay.
Which was a set of underground units across the Val that were linked to the ANC, but not explicitly for obvious reasons.
Sure.
And they were fighting in Kata, they were fighting the police, they were fighting gangs, criminal gangs, so on and so forth. Yeah.
which were very opportunistic at the time.
Yes, I mean, people could be armed by the police without knowing that they are being sent to kill comrades for political reasons, and they would think, no, comrades,
it's just crime.
It's crime. These people, it's about street domination. Yeah. But they didn't know that, some of them were not conscious of the fact that they were being manipulated by the system to sort of delay the dawn of a new day.
Did this then shape your education as well, in terms of what you wanted to study? I mean, you are at PhD level now.
Yeah. Look, there are two main influences. I have a big influence of the church.
I'm coming to that, by the way.
And then secondly, of course, the political experiences that I came across. Yeah. In my immediate family, there were no priests and all those things. And also in my immediate family, then Ndlozis, there were no real politicians and activists and what. Majority of
which tree did you fall from?
I think the biggest thing is Christianity. It's the church that was
Which
big.
church was this?
3 churches. There was a church called AME and St. Priest, 2 churches in the African Independent Christian Movement. And then majority of the time I was in the charismatic faith.
Okay.
The rivers of living water.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently, you were even a pastor at school.
I could have. I wasn't.
Well, Twitter sticks.
Twitter
says it differently. But
a preacher,
yes.
not a pastor.
Oh,
you have to
preacher.
be ordained to be a pastor.
Yeah, so preacher.
I never took any offerings and tithes, So I was just a preacher.
Well, maybe that's the next step. You never know.
No, not really.
But now the preacher?
Yeah, maybe the capacity for the spoken word, misled me because I could speak and explain things very well.
Yeah.
But I had an independent passion for scripture.
Okay.
And prayer, scripture and prayer. What I was reading, the Bible was the first thing I read intimately and understood intimately.
Wow.
And often independently. So yeah.
To this day?
Yeah. But of course, now I appreciate much more than the Christian Holy Scripture.
Sure.
I'm very attracted to the Der Tao Ching, as well. I've been reading the past few months.
The what?
The Der Tao Ching, which is a Taoist.
Okay.
Tai Chi.
No,
you would know Tai Chi.
I know Tai Chi. Tai
So there's
Chi is the dance.
No, it's actually a martial art.
Yeah.
But look,
Yeah.
there is there's Tai Chi. I mean, Der Tao Ching, which is the Lao Tzu sort of. That's what the monks of Taoism read.
Yes.
And then I'm also before that, and for the longest time, I was reading a lot of Jewish theology.
Oh, okay.
In particular, Martin Buber.
Oh, nice.
And Maurice Friedman. And the Talmud in particular. So yeah, I mean, I drink as well a lot from those cups.
Oh, fantastic. And now, with all of this, you still have time to finish your masters. And now you're busy
I killed my MA a long time ago.
When was this, bruh?
Masters.
We got masters.
We're talking PhD. I killed that masters a long time ago.
When was this?
With distinction. A long time ago.
With what?
I think the fancy term is cum laude.
Oh,
No, I killed it a long time. The PhD has been a struggle.
4 hours sleep, you.
Yeah, but I think we're going to shock people very soon.
Is it?
Yeah, well.
Is it coming together?
Well, yeah. Let's not go into
That's
it.
Fine. That's fine. But let me take you back to, because I always find it, like psychologists will say, look to the boy to understand the man.
Yeah.
Songs then that were playing, spiritual songs. What attracted you? Was it apostolic songs, Zion songs, apostolic Zionic songs?
Look,
because you have a passion for singing.
Do you know today is the birthday of Manku? She would have turned 123 years today. Manku is the big prophetess of the St. John Church.
Yes.
Which was founded in Everton.
Yeah.
And you must look at, because what the style or the sound, the unique musical sound, which is absolutely South African.
Yeah.
And, that Barori, Siba Morena, and
my band.
Jerusalem.
That's my group right there. Yeah.
Comes from, or can be traced in, the sort of genre that was generated in the sound of the Manku movement within the Christian faith.
Yeah.
She broke away from Faith Mission, obviously, and was a big prophetess, founded a big healing Christian movement whose headquarters were in Everton.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been many breakaways.
Sure.
But that sound represents for me the questions that interrogate me privately about spirituality and the ultimate moral authority. And so my ultimate spiritual sound is Baroris Bamorena and Jerusalem Enche.
Baroris Bamorena bar Muhau.
Yes. That is what kneels me. And that is what renders me or makes me understand that I am but dust. And of course, we all have to have spiritual anchors. even for the type of political conflicts and political rebellion and revolutions we are engaged in. You have to have a way of being able to constitute a spirituality that saves you from all the temptations out there. They should get a Lifetime Achievement Award.
They must. I'm shocked that they haven't.
Yeah, they should.
Ntateto needs to get... who was the leader of Jerusalem? Siletso. Was it Siletso? Yes.
Yeah.
I grew up with this, and grandma believed so much that medicine is the last resort. Medicating a child is the last resort. But should you sing, give praise while they are on your back, it's enough to heal a child.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Absolutely.
Don't get me started. Tell me about Fela Kuti.
Come on. Let me
bring you back.
That's
now.
legendary. I mean, that's the inventor of this is the thing about music. I love inventors.
Yeah.
The people who are right at the beginning of a new sound.
Yeah.
And Fela Kuti invented a new sound, which funk music flows from. But I think his sound remains unadulterated.
Yeah.
If you
Still
go for
to
him
this very day.
directly, yeah. So that's a West African guru who has touched all of us. It's impossible to understand African jazz music without Fela Kuti.
Even Hugh Masekela to this very day.
Oh yes,
homage.
He gives
homage.
all of them.
You must listen to the new album.
You should have heard how Miriam Makeba would talk about Fela. Amazing man, and revolutionary to the core.
All right, we are back, and Quinton is still here. I love that name, Q. Did I call you Q?
Yeah,
that's cool, eh? Hey,
yeah,
Q,
yeah.
what's
High
up,
school.
Q? Yeah. And then he decided to mess up everybody and go with Mbuyiseni.
I've never introduced myself to anybody as Quinton.
Yeah.
But it was a school name, so Abarvita.
Yes.
Quinton Ndlozi, present.
Emmanuel Mokwele, present.
Yes. So when you get to university, there are no such things.
No.
So your identity changes.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be called by the name that you use.
Yes.
Yeah. But the people I grew up in the township knew me as Fano. It was not Quinton. It was not Mbuyiseni.
Nickname?
Yeah. That's what my mother called me.
Yeah. Oh, Fano. Okay. So you'll be known by that.
Yeah.
But why the name Mbuyiseni, do you know?
Well, I was born. It's an interesting one. You know, my grandmother had 12 kids, 7 sons and 5 daughters.
Oh, okay.
Number 3 was a guy.
That's a matriarch right there.
Yeah, number 3 was a guy called Jablan. And Jablan was a notorious, and he was a thug. He was actually called Jablan Central. So anybody that lived in Everton before 1985, late 70s, early 80s, would have known him.
Sure.
And then he died, but it was not known where he was for a very long time. He was missing. So on the day I was born, the police arrived and said, we have been looking for the people of Jablani, and then my grandmother agreed, this is his home, he's my son. Like, okay, he died a couple of months ago and we had to bury him in prison. So the lament of my grandmother was Mbuyiseni Jablan. Yes. So that's the story of the name.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Mbuyiseni wakukai?
Everton.
Just yesterday, we're talking about social responsibility. Is my social responsibility
when I see a hungry child to intervene? It is my social responsibility to make the democracy of this country work by voting with my conscience, whether on general elections or in parliament.
Not a virgin by choice. We have women who are not virgins by choice. They suffer from what we call virginism.
Yes.
This is a involuntary muscle spasm that happens. So many marriages were not consummated of this. Men didn't even understand this. And as we know, as black folk, we could easily say it's witchcraft.
Yes. Look, I know that there are therapy sessions that could respond to that successfully. But what it exposes is our ignorance of women bodies, which have only been, over the years, because of patriarchy, understood just to be possessions of sexual pleasure for men. It means that you have to understand your woman and her body, her pleasure points, so that she too can be content of the sexual experience. I'm absolutely for that. And the condition you're speaking about, where it has served destructive, is because the attitude in the first place has not been about understanding and appreciating and embracing women bodies.
You're single, not yet married, right?
Yeah.
Would you ask your woman for money? Say, babe, hey, I'm out of cash.
I do.
And
she gives me.
You kidding?
Yeah, why not? No. It's inter-exchangeable. So we help each other. So there's no. I mean, the proper Sesotho word for a couple is balekani.
Yeah.
And
true.
if you take that, the true meaning of that is when you are down and out, and it's not that happens historically. Men are just too proud to admit it, but I don't have a problem really because it is as human as it gets.
Finally, which singleton would you take off auction?
Singleton, whiskey.
No.
What is a singleton? I know a whiskey called singleton.
No, we're talking about a single person, yet not married.
No, I don't have a real or not married.
Yeah, not married. Beautiful, and you're like, Mara, why is this person single? Why?
Hey, Chief, you want to get me to trouble.
No, but trouble is the middle name here.
This trouble is very, very bad. It's I am okay.
I know you're okay, but still.
I am okay.
But you know what I like? Bay at home knows the day we stop looking is the day we're dead.
I don't know. The day we stop seeing. Not looking, I mean seeing. You shouldn't look, you should see. That is the natural eye.
Yeah.
But looking is like searching. So it has a different connotation.
The day you stop seeing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Oh, wow.
I'll have to think about it.
In Parliament?
Too old. Go mama, I could have developed, some great crush, but before I could develop it, Balaga was married,
Oh, banna.
Yeah, but I mean, some people will condemn that we shouldn't because, cool as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Chief, there's no time for that.
No.
You're trying to fix the country half the time.
There you're working.
Yeah, I will have to think about a singleton.
But you know what? In reflecting on what everybody has said, there's nothing as refreshing as seeing a young South African who has decided to numb all the things that they could have taken to their pleasure and go for a discourse to serve all of us. And that is the reason why people such as you deserve to be celebrated. It's not an easy job. We know that for a fact, but you're still doing it. And not only that, at the same time, you keep on developing yourself. Why? Because it is important. So in you doing so, without you realizing, you are empowering others because you're showing them what is possible. And with those words, I want to say, keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And hopefully your dream will be realized.
Thank you.
In our lifetime.
Thank you. It is a dream of economic freedom in our lifetime. Look, I have to react to that in a very short and direct way. I wish Kaya House and the idea of the Afropolitan very, very well in a rapidly changing environment for radio. I'm passionate about all the black initiatives that are taking place in the radio space that you people have been on top of, like yourself. And I really want to wish Kaya the best, the different lineup, and tell all South Africans that we have to continue supporting this house no matter what. It is an important treasure of black people, but generally of celebrating what this country's entertainment is about. So I wish you the best too.
We send Quinton and Ndlozi, keep shining.
Thank you very much.